including 2 games where I played at 98% accuracy. Let's Okay, so if you don't know about me, my name is Dr. Victor Ngani. I am an actual doctor, yes, but I play chess. I've played chess for several years, and I am the 2018 National Chess Champion, Kenya. So the first round, I'm playing a 9 or 10-year-old, 8 or 9-year-old young man called Jenen Kyogora. Very, very strong player. In this game, I played at 97.7% accuracy. My opponent wasn't a slouch either. They played at 88.9% accuracy. This young man is one to watch. This is round 1 game. I'm playing on board 3, and this is how it goes. Let's see.
Starting with the king's pawn is a versatile first move.
I'm playing black. Let me just. I'm playing black in this case. My opponent starts with e4. I play the Sicilian, and we get into the accelerated dragon. My opponent clearly knows his theory. He's playing good chess, and this is sort of like a mainline position in the accelerated dragon. Now here probably the best move is this, and the whole idea is the reason why we play this kind of line, for example, is because many people want to go into the standard dragon where they're going to play here, then they're going to play the queen here, they're going to castle this side, and then bring their bishop here and try and attack on this side. The problem is this is the accelerated dragon, and this pawn hasn't moved up 1 step. Therefore, I have an extra move, and we'll actually see why this extra move is useful. So my opponent plays f3, still a book move, and I castle, which is a book move. Then now they play this move, which is not correct. Still a book move. I'm surprised, but it's not right. You can see already up here, the analysis says minus 0.24. So white has no advantage, black is marginally better. And the reason is because over the normal dragon, now I can play this move immediately. And that move, d5, is the best move in this position. So it's quite ideal to play like this. What my opponent should have played in this position is bishop to c4. And now when I castle, once again, the only move I believe is that. There could be other moves people will try to play, but the move that they should have played is the move that I've just shown you. So in this position, I play the move d5, which is ideal. And this is a new move that I have not seen, but I also know it's wrong. So I took a couple of minutes to calculate and came up with the correct best engine move, which is in fact that move gets an exclamation mark, and this is in fact the best move. The idea is if you just pick back, say like this, then I'll probably play here attacking your queen, and when you save your queen, your bishop is hanging, is being attacked 2 times, and I win a nice beautiful, actually not just a pawn, actually get a bishop in an open position, and this would be probably completely winning. You can see a minus 2.5. So my opponent had seen this very strong player, and he picks here, which is not the best move because now I have a bishop pair, and immediately I decide to pick here. That's a good move, but not the best move. The idea is my opponent cannot castle, and I feel that I'm going to get very many moves as a result of that. First and foremost, I've taken a pawn. They have to take back their pawn. The best way is to take with the pawn. So this pawn is weak. I have a bishop pair. I have better development, and their king is unsafe. I felt very good about this position. The computer agrees. I activate my rook. That's why I took with the queen in the first place. My opponent should block this check here. Try and sort of cover up everything, get ready for, but then they play this move, which is bad for 2 reasons. Number 1, I can always take this knight and break these pawns further, white bishop versus white bishop, and just this pawn structure difference is enough for me to be better. But I thought I should play here first, because now the options for my opponent are very, very few. They may not be able to play as many good moves as possible. They can't play onto this diagonal. I'd always check and get an extra tempo. They don't want to play on this file because they're lining up with my rook. So instead they play this move, which is the best move in the position. Now my bishop cannot come in, but now I have this move. So what I've calculated here is that my opponent has to, one way or the other, challenge my rook. So for example, they should play a move like this, and in this position, one of the things that would go wrong for them is I could always take here, and when they take, I could always take this, take back, and take this. Now, I'm not sure whether this is winning or not, but really that's the whole idea. I didn't like the very concept. You can see I would not have taken immediately because of this rook coming to the 7th rank. So really, but that's what my opponent was afraid of, and I don't think that was really ideal. However, these broken pawns is more than enough for me to win the game, and this is actually what would have happened. I'd probably play here attacking that pawn, and I'm not sure how you're going to defend it. And here now I think I can take the pawn, because if you try the exact same thing you did, I can start with this check and take this other pawn as well, and this game is over. So this is the reason why my opponent calculated and saw this pawn is hanging. Then he played this move, which is just very bad for a different reason, because now I've always wanted to take this pawn. I take it, they take back, and I bring my rook in, attacking that pawn, and that pawn cannot be saved. And here my opponent resigned. Very strong player. The understanding to allow resignation in such a position is unbelievable for an 8 or 9 year old. Jaden Kegora, very strong player, and he's going to go places. So this game I played at 97.7% accuracy. My opponent played at an accuracy of, I believe, 80 something percent, and that is round 1. Round 2, I was playing let me just check whom I was playing in round 2, by the way, because I can hardly remember the name of the person I was playing. I was playing in round number 2. Let's see. Round 2, I was playing Yaringo Kevin, a good friend of mine as well, more or less my age, and this was one of my worst performances because I played this at 79% accuracy. My opponent didn't play a very good job, do a good job at 70% as well. Sort of we cross-infected each other. Kung Fu Kims is asking which tournament this is the Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, the East African Community Open Chess Tournament that took place at M-Pesa Foundation, Nairobi, Kenya, courtesy of the Gift of Chess and a couple of other sponsors. That's the tournament that we played in. So here I played E4, he played G6, which is the modern. I played D4, always take the center when the opponent gives you the chance. These are called hypermodern systems, where they don't go to the center immediately, but they put their pieces in places where they can attack the center indirectly, and this can transpose. They can play like this, making it the Piazza, like this, making it the Sicilian, and they can actually play the modern proper. So quite a number of things are possible here, and indeed in this line my opponent plays C5, making it the Sicilian. More like I had started with E1, they played this move first, then it would be the Sicilian defense. So this is a transposition, and I make it a full transposition here. They take, and once again we have a line here which is the accelerated dragon. Now here my opponent plays a very bad move, and I should have seen this immediately, that I can play knight to d5. I switched to a move later, and it wasn't really the ideal position. I missed, and that's why my accuracy is very low. So here now I castle, and they play this bad move, and wait a minute, did I not just miss? Did that happen? No way that happened. No way that happened in the game. No way that happened. Did that happen? No way that happened. That would be a disaster for me to have missed that. Let's see. Round number 2. Let's see whether that happened. That didn't happen. What? Let's see. This is the actual game. Oh yeah, they played that move first. Yeah, then I played there. Okay, that's the reason. Alright. I've seen. No wonder. Okay, so maybe the accuracy is a bit better because I played this, missed the opportunity, then I played it on the next move. Alright, so it will transpose a little bit. Yeah, it will transpose a bit. So let me just analyze what actually I had analyzed earlier. So that didn't happen. Instead, here I played the knight out first, then they played the rook. So this transposes to the position, because I was surprised that I could have missed this very simple tactic like this. I mean, this is terrible to miss. That's like very poor chess. So that's why the rating accuracy went so far down. So this transposes, and that blunder now, the move I had in mind was this, although the engine recommends I should take here first. So here it's a very simple tactic really, because I thought they're going to play these two. Now they're attacking my knight, they're attacking my bishop, and that's exactly the plan, because now I can take this knight, which is a great move, gets an exclamation mark. When they take it, look at this rook and this queen lined up against your queen, and your queen can't take here, which was part of the problem initially. If I play here now, your queen can't take because I can take back. But my opponent thought they're taking back with the bishop and they're defending their queen, not losing their queen. That is true, but I still win an extra pawn. Your king is in danger, better developed, and literally in this position you're losing a rook because I attacked this rook at least a piece. The rook can't move because I take this bishop, and when you move away to that only square, I can then attack this other rook of yours and you can't defend it. If you move your knight away, I take the rook. So here my opponent attacked my rook, so that now if I take the rook, they take mine, but I have an in-between move. I take this rook, they take back that bishop, and I'm just a bishop up. So here my opponent continued on the wrong track, because instead of moving the knight out, they played here, so that they try to trap my bishop, I think, by playing this move. But that move just doesn't work, because now I get extra tempi, getting my last two pieces into the game. Check, and now they seem like they're attacking this pawn, but what's a pawn between friends? And when they take it, I close the door. Now this rook is actually blocked because I can play here, win it, play here, win it. So they saw this plan, they try and stop my bishop from coming here. In fact, I can play check wherever you play. I take back and take your rook, but I prefer this other move because it keeps the knight in check. They take my bishop, that rook is trapped, and now if they play here, I can always pin you, and it's gonna be a rook versus a king, which is no story. So my opponent resigned at this stage because this was just a blowout. I'm going to try and review the game from the start actually, because I feel that the analysis there was not perfect. We'll come back to it the next few. I think we'll go to the next few positions. So oh, what has happened here? Oh, I hope that we are not going to have to go through this game number 3 again. Yeah, it's already entered, so let's see if the review is done. Yeah, this is game number 3. So it was the longest game of the tournament, I believe, and so this not of my tournament this weekend. So this particular one, I think, was not. It's still reviewing. Let's see. Come on, be faster, be faster. And as it does that, we can actually go back and do a review this first game. Let's go through it one more time so that we see the correct accuracy of this game. Is that what I played? I can hardly remember. Yeah, so here I missed that move. I played here, and I played that move with a threat. So the threat here, by the way, if you didn't notice, say for example, if I just played here and they attacked, my plan is to take here, they take back, I attack your queen, let's say the queen comes here, then there's this check, and I win the rook. So that was the real threat, and that's actually why the same move worked here, by the way, even better, because now you cannot play this move, I think, because because why? I can play here, I think. I can play this move. Is that correct? If you take it, you can attack your queen, and the queen is trapped. But let's see, what's the recommendation here? If you play here, what happens? Knight to f5 is the best discovery, because you're attacking this bishop, you're still attacking here, and this check doesn't work either because I just bring the bishop back, attacking your bishop, and this is lost. All right, so yeah, bishop takes, and that's no good. Okay, so I'm still happy with what I played anyway. Played here, I brought up my rook, my bishop, my queen. They played here, played back, and played back. That's my daughter who finished on 4.5 points. Hera played here. I castled, attacked the.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi Tello, how are you?
You're playing a tournament on chess?
I'm not playing a tournament, I'm just reviewing my games from the tournament. This, and then I played here, takes, this. That's incorrect. No. Anyway, let's see if the analysis is done. Not done. Let's refresh. Analysis is not working. We see again if it will work. No, it's working. Okay, great. So this game I played at 92% accuracy. My opponent played at 87%, so not bad. Rating of 2450 with 3 great moves. And this is round number 3, and this is my opponent. Actually, my opponent is in this game. My opponent is white. The reti, I used to struggle against the reti until I discovered this kind of a nice system to play. So the most natural move to play, and what I played always, was here. But this is a very bad move to play, primarily because now if the opponent plays this move, you take. Now they can save their knight with tempo, and they always have this kind of thing happening, and it's not so easy for black to get out of this situation. So just trust me, this is like a reverse Grunfeld, and white is just fine. So instead, what I should play is what I've learned over time is, instead of playing that move, this is a better move. And the idea is, for this reason, I can take here. Now when you take, I can move my pawns forward, and then this is a very important key move. And after this move, I felt that I was just okay. That's a move I saw that I was going to play. And then here I could take with the bishop, but taking with the bishop literally trades off everything, and the position looks fairly drawish. That was my understanding. Knight takes was good. My opponent played this move, knight d2. The plan is very simple. They want to go here and then bring a knight into this square. And that's very scary for different reasons. You'll see that this bishop becomes very powerful immediately. I felt like maybe I made a mistake not taking with the bishop to neutralize this powerful bishop they have here. You'll see what I mean. Now when they play here, I have only one move. I can't allow the knight to come here, and I really can't play my queen here, because now they'll play a move like this, and they have to take one of my bishops. So actually this is not even possible, because they're attacking this bishop, they're attacking this knight. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. So the only move I have to play is that, but that's also the best move, and also it's enough. But now you can see this bishop is very strong along this diagonal. So that very strong bishop, the move that could happen is this move, and this is being attacked a third time. 1, 2, and 3, defended twice. And if you just move this knight to a very nice safe square like this, then of course the powerful bishop comes in. It's called the Catalan bishop, and you're losing the game. That's just a piece. However, I'd seen, when I was calculating, I thought I'd play here, but this is not a very good move, because in this position my opponent, I thought, would play this move, and my plan was to take here, when they take, I take the queen, they take back, and then I thought I'll take here, attacking the rook, and oh, that doesn't even work, by the way. You have to save the rook first. Surprise, surprise. This, and this is what I didn't like. And then they'll take here, and they're attacking that pawn. So I thought they'd play here. I can never castle. Sorry, so yeah, this kind of move. Yeah, I could never castle really. So, and I couldn't save this pawn. So that was the danger. I saw something about that particular pawn being stuck. Maybe there was something better. But then, fortunately, I have this move, which is what I played in the game. Best move. And when they played here, now, of course, I took the queen. The queen is defending this knight that is now not defended. They take back, and I pick this knight. They picked my knight. Of course, I can't take this rook because they're planning to take here with check and take my rook. But I defend that knight of mine. That's the only move in the position. And here, my opponent played this very bad move, which allowed me to pick this pawn. And this was even worse because now I can just play here and I'm a pawn up in this position, slightly better. So the next few moves I think were bring my pieces into the game. I don't want this idea of having my rook lined up with your bishop. You shouldn't allow that either. Bring my last piece into the game. They're attacking this pawn. And here, very nice move. This knight is pinned. I'm defending that guy, attacking your bishop. Probably one of the few moves you have to play. I simplify a little bit. Take out, they cannot take with the rook, because if they take with the rook, I'll just take the bishop, so they have to take with the bishop. And in this position, I feel that I'm completely winning. I have an extra pawn. Outside passer, just defend my pawn. I get the bishop out. And here, maybe I could have exchanged pawns. This is a pawn I've poisoned. If you take it, of course, I'm going to play here and your bishop is trapped. My opponent sees that, so they play this move first. And now if I leave the pawn, say for example, and play a move like this, they can actually take it, because now if I play here, they can always play back and free their bishop. So this is a very well-known tactic, a well-known system. So instead of allowing that, I stopped the pawn from advancing further. They brought the bishop back. I centralize my king. In the end game, remember to bring your king into the game, and this is super important. So next move, yeah, so here I'm cruising, I'm thinking strategically. I want to bring my bishop into this diagonal, and what better way to do it than just to bring the bishop to c5, but that's a blunder. And I didn't see it until my opponent played this fantastic move. Now my whole advantage is gone. I was completely winning. I'm no longer winning. It's just a pawn. Fortunately, they're tactics. So I attack the rook, and now my opponent must see, I think this is the only move, because now if I bring my rook to block, for example, which I must do, then he can always, can he bring the bishop back? I think he can. Take and bring the bishop back. I think that works. And also, I thought he could actually play here, attacking my bishop, and now the bishop cannot go back, because when this rook comes, it's attacking this bishop comes, it's attacking the rook. So in essence, but I didn't see that he played here immediately, and that's a very bad move, because now when I play here, I'm still attacking your bishop. Your bishop has only one square to go to, and when that happens, I attack your rook, and the rook cannot move because I just take it. You don't have this check, because I will take it back. And yeah, so here my opponent came back, I picked the rook, and the rest actually is still quite interesting. I open a file for my rook, they take, I bring my king out. So here I'm just looking for a way to activate my pieces. These bishops are very dangerous, the bishop pair. I bring my rook in, and now here my opponent has blundered by playing this move, because now I can take this pawn. Of course, if they take the pawn, I can always take back, and here already I can even sacrifice like this, and I think I'm still winning if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I'm not. This is drawn. Oh yeah, anyway, interesting. I don't have to do that, but so here they took back their pawn, which is what I'd seen, and now my rook comes and this is just cut off. So from here my pieces will go to work. I just need to put this pawn on a light square. This bishop can't attack anything and this king cannot cross, so they have literally no moves. I'm bringing my king in, put the pawns on a light square, put the rook on a light square, nothing can be attacked. Bring my king in, I want to go and attack this pawn. Now here of course you cannot take, because then they take your rook and now you're completely losing. And I thought I could do this, but I really can't, because this is now completely drawn, because now I take, and if I take back here, they take back, and this race, yes, I'll queen first, but they'll end up with a rook's pawn, and I cannot win. So I calculated this is just a matter of simple calculation, and here you should just know, maybe that's even the worst place to play this here, and I queen first, but you cannot win this position. This is a complete draw. So I had to see that. Then I decided instead to play. Unfortunately, in this position, I have this move, and if you take my pawn, I can always come attacking this pawn. The bishop has to defend it, and the way to defend it, if you come to defend it, of course, then this other pawn falls, and I have a passed pawn here, so already life is not so easy for the opponent. So instead, my opponent pushed, but this is probably even worse, because now I attack this pawn. The bishop still has the task of defending both. I didn't want to take this immediately because I felt they could come here and keep us locked, but maybe I should have just taken it. I think there's no real issue because I can always play back here, and this is just a pawn that has fallen. So I decided to bring my my opponent was under time pressure, so was I. I was playing a bit fast, so I play here to ensure the bishop cannot come. Now this pawn has to move to be defended. That was my plan. The pawn can't escape. Again, if you take, I can always take, you take back, and I come here, and the pawn cannot be defended. So I'm winning a pawn regardless. So my opponent played here, and now again the king is still cut off. I bring my king to attack this pawn once again. If my king can get here, then I have to win one of these guys. So I start bringing the king down. Now here they have one possibility. If I play this move, I felt to play this move here, and if I play this, the bishop comes here. This is the one diagonal theory, where the bishop is defending both, its weaknesses from one diagonal. Very hard to beat. Of course, I can always bring my king back, come here, trade off, and I think this is still okay. But I didn't want to allow that, so I play here first. So I play here first. Now if the bishop leaves, I always take this pawn, and this pawn is going to be attacked. So here, now this is being attacked. They move it up, I still attack it with the king. See how powerful the king is, and that's why I brought my rook here. I take it. The king is attacking my rook and my pawn. Only move to defend them. Fortunately, on light squares, this pawn is being attacked. You defend it. My king comes back round to come and defend this pawn and free my rook. And now check, take the other pawn, and now I can always take back, make a queen if I must. I don't think I do, because I can always play push, 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 push. This is a passed pawn, rook, and this game is over. The next game is a game I lost, and despite losing, I think I was a little bit well, I wasn't much better. I was much better at some point, actually almost winning, but then I just had a blind spot and I lost the game. So this is one of those very bad ones. I think this game I played at about 86% accuracy, I think. Let's see. Let's just go back and see the review. Yeah, it's coming up to I'm sure it's 80 something percent. I already checked it. I played 85.6%. I was black. My opponent played at 95%. No, wait a minute. No, this is me. I played at 95% accuracy this one. Sorry. I'm white here against I'm a Kamau, and my opponent plays this line, which is what do you call this? Traxler Gambit. So the plan is that if I take here, then they want to take this move, and of course you cannot take because then I think they will check you here, and this position is really bad for white. Actually, best plays a draw, so you don't take. Instead, you play here, and then they save their queen, take the rook. They start by playing this move. You take by pawn. They bring the knight, attack the knight, and then they have moves like this. So this is a fairly tricky kind of position, and I'm not a big fan, and it gets tricky very quickly. So I don't play that anymore. I used to play it. You have to know how to move 29 or something. I've even missed it already from here. So as simple as just take here, and that's just a pawn, and that's why the move is not good. So here they play this very nice move. Looks like you can play your knight here, forking the two. But that would be a mistake, because if you play here and take the rook, then suddenly this check happens and there's no escaping. I think this is going to be checkmate very soon in this position, and white is completely losing. So don't fall into that trap. Instead, just play here. And now there are many things you have to pay attention to. Bishop coming here. Instead, my opponent brings the rook out to avoid that fork, and I bring my knight back. So this is the best move, because there are many tactics here again. If you castle, I think there is a serious problem as well. I think they can pick here. No, they can't pick check, but they have this move, by the way. And now you can't play this anymore because this is pinned. And if you bring the knight, now already life is very tricky here, because you have probably to bring the knight here. There's a move like this possible, and there are so many threats. You'll have to lose sort of something. I think this is what I was afraid of, and yeah, I sort of felt something like this is very hard to deal with. So I wasn't very keen to get into this kind of a line, but the engine says it's perfectly fine. Instead, I played here. That was not the best move. I should stop this pin now, because that's the real danger, but I also thought let's just develop. This chess.com says it's the best move. Then I brought my knight. Sorry, actually here I could have brought the knight immediately, which is not a bad move at all. But I didn't want this move to happen. That maybe I should have, because I know this line is possible. And if you take my my bishop, I could take with my queen, and I have a temple over that bishop. So this is kind of a line I know exists, but I didn't want to give a bishop here to my opponent in this kind of a situation. Maybe next time that's what we're going to do, because the development is much faster and more coherent. The path I chose was not very solid. So here I played this move. They picked my bishop, I picked back, making this a weak pawn. Not bad. And then here I thought for a moment they're playing there so that they could sacrifice their knight. But this sacrifice doesn't work, because if they take back, I just play here, and that's an extra piece. I'll just be able to survive and go ahead to win the game. So instead they played the move they had in mind. I thought of picking, but not just develop my pieces. Picks, very nice move, opening up the center, making a seal in the center. Now they're attacking this pawn. Very nice move, bringing their queen in, attacking my rook. And here I was tempted for a moment to try and cling on to my pawns, but it doesn't work, because when they play here, they're attacking both pawns. It's the best move, and one pawn has to fall. If I castle, they'll always take here, come back, go up. So instead, the move, oh, that's the best move.
That's what I was saying.
He says it's the best move. This is the move I played, knowing full well that they could play this move, attacking this pawn and this pawn. And here I was just going to play here, protecting the pawn, allowing them to take so that I can castle. And here the material is equal, but white cannot castle, black cannot castle. My pawn structure could be slightly better, though they'll have an outside pass pawn in the endgame, and my pieces are more active. So instead, they missed that chance and they played this very bad move. Attacked the knight. I wanted to play this anyway. Now the knight should go back to where it came from, but the move they played was actually much worse, because now the activity is gone. This knight was a monster here. Side of the board is doing nothing, and I castle and I'm just winning here. So from bad to worse, you can see these guys are lined up. They play this move, which leaves this knight undefended. Automatically, it's lined up with my queen. Best move, attack that knight immediately. They go back, and I take with my knight, attacking the queen, attacking the knight. And you can always see this diagonal. Queen goes to e2. I take the rook, because if they take with the king, I'm seeing possibilities of moves like this at some point, maybe even after starting with this other rook, and this knight can be hanging in many variations. So my opponent saw that, and they picked. Hi, Tello. They picked with the queen, but that's also losing a piece, because I take this knight, they take back, I pin the knight, threatening to win it. If you defend with the king, I play here, and if you defend with the queen, I play there nonetheless. They played e6. I picked here. My opponent, yeah, he wasn't happy about this move, but of course the game is over. I played check. They played up. I take the pawn. I'm just going to make a new queen here. They played that move. I take back, play back, and here, actually no, they attacked my pawn first. I defended it. They played here. I pushed the pawn. My plan is very simple. I'm to bring the knight here, defending this pawn, then rook. They saved the pawn, and this is the best move, because this is following next. And here my opponent resigned. But my opponent resigned earlier on in the game. I had played e4, left the board. I played e4, left the board. I came and found it's played here. Then I played this move. When I came back, my opponent tells me that I played knight g3. Fortunately, it's dgt. My knight was actually, I found the knight here, and it just didn't make sense that my knight was on g3. And they insisted he found my knight here. We weren't covering by camera. A very unfortunate thing to find happening. So anyway, that's what happened. My opponent was my opponent in round number 3. This is the game I lost, and 78% accuracy, 83%. But my opponent didn't play. So it's not like we played particularly great chess. We played very poor chess, to be honest. But it is what it is. I'm not sure why this is behaving as it is. Anyway, this line, so far so good, and I have a slight advantage already here, and that advantage increases a little bit after this move. So here my opponent has really blundered. It's not a good move. I castle, the best move in the position.
Oh, you're black.
And then he plays this. I take, and here now I'd seen I'd just play this move. Maybe the king goes back. Then I thought I'd play here, but it's not good, because he'll play this move first instead of moving the queen away, and then the winner pawn. But something told me, oh, you can actually play here first, because if they play this move, I didn't have a very good feel of this position. So if they take, then I'll play check. When they move the king away, I take check, and I take the queen. And if they don't move the queen away, they play here. I would come here, and this is, I basically have a draw. For some reason, it never occurred to me my opponent would play this move. Just like that. And that's the best move in the position. I did lose it. I lost the game. So, that surprised me. So I went from bad to worse. Instead of recomposing myself, I played this very big blunder, and now my queen is attacked. And here, I played this move, which is what I planned, because I saw the move coming. Missing that he can just take here check, and just like that I'm a rook down. A whole rook, maybe for a pawn. I tried to complicate as much as I could, but nothing really worked. I'm threatening checkmate here, but I'll never get the chance to play it because he has this move. And yeah, the game went on for a few more moves, but that was the game I lost. Let's go to the last game of the round, where I got a 98% accuracy again against my opponent. And this game, this was round number 6, and I e4 c6, the Karokan, d4, d5, knight. So I played the fantasy in this line, and they played this very nice move, knight c3. Then they transposed to French staynites, which I wasn't happy to see. I was?
Never was.
No, it never was for sure. Picks, because this is still theory. Like, we've looked at this line like 100 times. So here, this is the first moment where I sort of had to think for myself after this move, a6, and I was trying to calculate, like, for example, if I play the natural move, which is queen d2, then I thought my opponent can just play here, and that was the plan actually. And if I take, they develop the piece. If I castle, they can always take, bring the queen in, and normally my knight goes in to defend this queen, and that's why this move has been played. So my knight would play here, for example, so that if you take, I take back with the knight, and this position is very good for white. But now with the pawn on a6, knight cannot go to b4. So I have to think for a moment what the idea is, and I decided I'm not going to play this move. I want to get ready for castling, but also paralyze the last piece. Now the bishop can't just move where it wants to go, because if you do that, I think I can take first, take, and then just take a pawn here. And this is, of course, nobody's going to play like this. So that's like a whole 2 pawns falling. So after this move, my opponent played this line, but now you can already see there's a weakness that has been created. So very nice move. I castle, they play b5, and here I was already contemplating a particular sacrifice, which is take this pawn and play here, attacking the knight, attacking the rook. But the knight can leave, protecting the rook, attacking my queen, saving the knight, and blocking the attack on the rook as well. So I found a tactic. I thought I'd play here, making that tactic work. Now, if, say, for example, they continue their plan, my plan was to actually take here. When they take back, I take this, attacking your rook. Where does the rook play? I'm not sure. Let's say this move. Now I can play my move, and if you try the same line, I'll take your queen, you take back, I play check, and I take your rook as well, and I'm just winning. So queen to f3 was preparing that sacrifice. My opponent didn't go b4 anything. Instead, they brought their knight out to the square. Now, of course, the sacrifice doesn't work. This square is defended multiple times. If I take here, they just take with the knight. End of story. That's just a piece that has been given for no good reason. So, however, I've seen their plan is to bring their knight here, which is good for me. I want this knight to land here because this bishop is a bit clogged up and I need to have more access. I played here, encouraging my opponent to make this blunder, which they make, and I pick, they pick back. Now, if you look at this position, all of black's remaining pieces are on their starting squares. No development. In the meantime, I've castled, my rooks are joined, my bishop is very active, and there are all these dark squares that are very weak, defended by one sole bishop. So what do? I start my pawn break. The king is in the center. I want to play f5, the main break in the Sicilian, in the French defense. My opponent plays rook here. They are thinking they have a bit of an attack. Maybe there is. Then I play this move here that sacrifices a pawn. So they play check, attacking both pawns. I move away, and then they pick this pawn, which is a blunder. And now my sacrifice works like a charm. I pick here. Brilliant move, gets 2 exclamation marks. Of course, if they take, I'm going to play here, attacking the rook. Looks like the rook can run away, but then this is a check. It's a fork, attacking king and rook. Tell her a moment, please. When they take, this is another check. My queen is attacking your king. It's a discovered check. It's a double check, actually. You must move the king. You can't move here. The bishop is defending. You cannot play here. I'll just check you. Maybe they could be even worse. I'll take your rook anyway. And the same thing if you play here or if you play here. This check happens, I take the rook. So very nice sacrifice there. My opponent didn't touch my rook, but I think what they played was worse. That's a brilliancy actually. They played the bishop this side, which is a very bad move, and now I can see checkmate. I take, they should leave. Let me have the knight and say, okay, I'm sorry, made a mistake. But they took the knight, and now that's just checkmate. Check. And I play bishop here. There's a checkmate threat on this square. When you defend it by blocking my rook, then remember those dark squares, queen c5, and checkmate happens. So that was my tournament, Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki 2025. Couple of games. This was a 98% accuracy game with at least one brilliancy, a couple of great moves. This was well played. I played a decent tournament, but I feel out of shape a little bit, and as a result of that, I lost one game actually and finished 6th. That's what it means in Kenya. If you lose one game, you get to position 6. So that's it, guys. I will continue this stream but doing something else. Hi Telo.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, so let me know. Put a comment, guys. Bye.